This mailbag made possible by Manscaped. 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com when you use promo code Cowboys. Super chat now from Jacob M. If all 5 linebackers impress this year, do you re-sign Neal and LVE or make more room by releasing Jalen Smith? Ooh. I think that in terms of the role, I would want to have one of LVE or Keanu. I think they're a better fit with Micah Parsons. I'll tell you what, though. I desperately want this to be the problem for the Cowboys to have. Daniel Graves, hey, Tom, re-sign Joe Looney, keep C. Williams and McGovern at their established positions. I am open to that. It is interesting to me that the Cowboys had started Joe Looney down the stretch last year and then didn't bring him back and are now giving the job to Tyler Biadasz. It's kind of weird. I would have interest. I guess the Cowboys don't, though. It's very strange. Jacob M., again, if we take a fullback, who would you want on our team? I go with Shewo Olanalua. I watched him a lot more than I watched Nick Ralston, the other fullback option. I think Olanalua can be a good special teams player. That might be the deciding factor in the end for the Dallas Cowboys as it relates to the fullback on the roster. So we'll see. All right, next up from Boss Man Fat. Do you think I will take over corner 2 or 3 by week 5 to 8? I hope so. I know you're watching out there, Boss Man Fat, despite being in practice right now. Very, very strange. Interesting. The sooner that Kelvin Joseph starts, I think is a good thing. That means he's impressing, and that is the main ideal goal for the Cowboys this year. X2 Pro Skills. Should we pay Randy Gregory right now so it'll be cheaper if he doesn't have a breakout season? That's a good idea. I think the Cowboys will probably do it. But you know what? If you're Randy Gregory, this is going to be your real shot at actual true NFL money. So I don't think he re-signs right now. I think he plays out the year and tries to get a few more million per season. For Sanchez, will Malik Hooker get 10 interceptions? No. If Malik Hooker gets 10 interceptions, we'll have a Hooker on the show. I kid. No, we won't. If Malik Hooker gets 10 interceptions, I will be over the moon. It's more than he's had in his career, or almost as much as he's had in his career. Like, that is an unrealistic expectation. If he gets 3, I will be hyped. We got to dial it back a little bit, guys. Speaking of Malik Hooker, Abel Jones, will he start? Maybe. When this move initially went down, and I was wrong with my initial reaction, I'm like, oh, Hooker's medical changed. He's going to come in and be a backup because the backup room sucks. Now I think it's the Cowboys don't trust almost any of the teams outside of maybe, I hope, Donovan Wilson. KZ had a rough start to camp. Dan Quinn's like, I got to get more help here because Jerron Kerr, Darian Thompson, 6th rookie Israel Mukuamu, Stephen Parker, you don't really want those guys starting right now. So I think there will be a real competition at safety once Hooker's fully up to speed, which will take a little bit more time. You've got 2 safeties who you'll play at a time in almost all packages for this team. So you got to pick one to bench. Right now, I doubt I'll see any W's, and I agree with you guys. The other spot, it's up in the air. So pick one to bench for me. Type W for Donovan Wilson, K for DeMonte Casey, or type in H for Malik Hooker. James Snyder, would you sign, I think you mean Nick Foles or Blake Bortles? I'm not paying Nick Foles what it costs. He is going to cost $4 million this year and either $8 million if you keep him next year or $5 million if you cut him. I'm out. No go on Nick Foles. Blake Bortles, I guess, sure. And in the end, it's not really going to save the Cowboys roster. The chance to get a good backup quarterback, they missed that window a decent amount ago. Jose Melendez, sign David DeCastro, move him to left guard, make Connor Williams the backup. The problem here is that in general, I get worried about moving 30-year-old offensive linemen to a different position. That's a red flag. Most importantly, the reason why it's not going to happen is that, A, you would be surprised how similar of seasons the Castro had last year compared to Connor Williams. You'll never believe me, but I'm right. Also, the Castro's not healthy. There is a reason why, even though NFL teams desperately need guards right now and starting caliber players, the Castro's unsigned. He might end up not playing at all this season. Third _1212, does Dan Quinn want Xavien Howard? I mean, does coach want good football player? Yeah, of course. Does that mean it's going to happen? I don't really think so. So, again, I am not going to get my hopes up for Xavien Howard. I'm not going to say no altogether because I would like it, but I would temper your expectations there, folks. Today's show is made possible by Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping on all the best men's grooming products out there when you go to manscaped.com and you use promo code Cowboys. That 20% off and the free shipping, got to use that promo code right there at the bottom of your screen. That's how you save 20%. That link, by the way, and the promo code too, will be in both the comment section and in the description. Make sure your junk looks nice and fresh down there by using Manscaped. Manscaped.com, promo code is Cowboys. Don't miss out anywhere. Manscaped.com, promo code is Cowboys. Noah E. Grayson, will the Cowboys make the playoffs this year? I say yes. I think they win the NFC East. I think that is the most likely outcome this season. From Miller Time, what's our defensive ranking at the end of the year? I will continue to use DVOA. It basically factors in the level of competition. I'll say 18. If it's 18, I think the Cowboys win the division and maybe even get a singular playoff win. Luke D. Will Hooker rotate with KZ if KZ is the starter? Same thing with Curse Wilson. Maybe. It is. We haven't even seen Hooker have a real practice yet. So I don't know is my answer. And I know that's not what you guys want to hear, but I don't know. We will have to wait and see what things look like from that perspective. There's a chance, but I think for the most part, either KZ or Hooker will handle most of the snaps, and I think Wilson handles most of the other ones. At least it should be Wilson, or else I hate this team. Izzy World, is there an update on Tyron Smith being out today? Yes, so Tyron Smith missed Thursday's practice with elbow tendonitis. Don't be concerned. It's the elbow. He's had that stuff for years. The elbow has never caused him to miss games. It's the neck and the back that cause the concerns. I am not worried about Tyron's elbow. Don't panic. It's basically a veteran rest day. It's July. He's going to be just fine if the back and neck hold up. That's the concern, which is not what's going on right now. If you guys want more Cowboys videos, basically every single day, sometimes twice like you had earlier this week with Xavien Howard and the Dak Prescott injury. If you want Cowboys videos, if you want to stay in the know with what's going on around America's team, hit that big red button and subscribe, youtube.com/CowboysTV. Okay, youtube.com, CowboysTV. You know, next question here in just a second. First up here, we'll get to one of them in just a moment here. First Sanchez, number one wide receiver, C.D. Lamb. Possible, if Cooper misses time, yes, he is going to be the number one receiver. I think it'll be a 1A, 1B type of deal, and that's a good thing for the Cowboys. I am all aboard the Lamb hype train, though. From Bob Gonzalez, will the Cowboys sign Geno Atkins? I know that the Cowboys team doctor did his surgery. Look, Atkins, I don't know if he's better than what you have. Now, if he wants to sign on a cheap one-year deal, no guaranteed money, hell yeah, let's ride, cut Justin Hamilton. But they added a bunch of new pieces. Atkins has not been good in the past 2 years. He hasn't been the same guy. Coming off the injury, I get flashes of Dontari Poe, of Gerald McCoy. I'm down if it's cheap, but I don't think signing Atkins in the end would really fix your problems that you have right now on the defensive line. So I'm open to it if it's cheap, but I don't think it fixes your problems. From Kelly Mack, Wright and Diggs, the starting corners. Possible. I would rank the options right now, which they could change, of course, for week one. Diggs and Brown way up here. Diggs and Joseph, then just behind that, Diggs and Wright. I still think in the end, the most likely outcome here is that Trevon Diggs is definitely one starter, and then Nahshon Wright is probably the third corner on the or the fourth corner on the outside, with Diggs is the 1. Joseph is 3, Brown is 2 for week 1. ECW Hardcore Network. Wow, what a username. How is Dak's shoulder? I mean, like, obviously it's not 100%. Like, there's no way around that there. But, like, my mindset is he's going to be fine. I am not concerned about Dak Prescott. His shoulder is going to be fine. This is a very, very minor issue. He's not going to miss any real games. He's going to be okay. I'm not worried about Dak Prescott. He's going to be fine. His shoulder is not something you should be losing sleep over. Give it a week or two. I bet he'll be back out there at that point. Eddie Joe. Wow. Full time's a flat circle here. Do you think Chicago will cut Andy Dalton, and should the Cowboys try to sign him if he's available? The Bears are not cutting Andy Dalton. There is absolutely no chance that ends up being the case. The Cowboys are not, the Bears are not going to cut Andy Dalton. Like, that's absolutely not going to happen. If he does get cut, sure, let's do it. But, nah, that ain't going to be the case. From Johnny Lopez, trade Leight Vander-Esch for Xavien Howard. I would do it, but why would the Dolphins? What else are you throwing in than a guy who would probably start for the team with 2 starting linebackers already? I don't think that ends up being the case for the Cowboys. I get the idea, but my guess is no. The Cowboys are not going to go out and trade for Howard in general, and LVE is not nearly worth enough. That's like a 5th-round pick. I think they have to throw a 1st-round pick at least to be able to acquire Howard for LVE. You got to add more to that from a trade value perspective. Do you see the Cowboys signing a backup free agent quarterback, or do they go with Gilbert or Cooper Rush? I think Gilbert's the most likely outcome. I would call about Gardner Minshew. I don't know what he costs, but yes, I would have some interest at that point.